A vibrator.
What's that gonna do?
No, I literally meant like a person.
Have come on this journey with me where I've realized I'm not very good at video games.
So now I gotta turn the seed into flesh, Jake.
I turned the seed into flesh.
Look, we know Garfield didn't go to January 6th because he's lazy. But you know he was
And it was
there
a
in
Monday.
spirit.
Truck.
Is that enemy truck?
Yep.
That was delayed.
Yeah, leave it like that. That's good. That's good. That's good, Will.
I thought you were gonna say, and then I learned about Nazi Germany.
I think about the moment when you look into Sonic's eyes all the time. I think about Sonic's feet.
Okay, let's go. Wow. Oh! Oh!
He has a kid!
I'm on stream. Maggie's watching Forrest Gump. Apparently she got to.
If you had asked me to guess what Maggie was talking about when she came in, I would not have guessed Forrest Gump.
Look, I hate Twilight Princess. I've never played it. I don't want to because I hate that art style.
Man, that is the most Ian Gibson sentence I've heard in my entire fucking life.
it's a
No! I don't think you can say that!
I can literally hear it behind me.
Oh, it's Roxas. Show me Primus. Show me some Primus. Primus, baby. Look, I want to be a little slutty so that people will want to be friends with me.
Yes!
Yes. Woo! Wow.
One. We did it! Hey, the timer started over!
It's okay, folks. Here comes Will. He's fixing his microphone. He was so upset. He said everybody has to be quiet during the intro song. You have to shut up. You have to shut up. This is my show. I do what I want. I do what I want.
I
And his
hate
mic's
you.
not
My
working.
mic's back now. Gosh darn it. You know what? I noticed it wasn't moving when the song started, and I was thinking of tapping it to see if it would move, and then I said, nah, it's fine, and then Windows fucks you. Oh, I've never heard this part of the song.
I hate when Windows fucks you.
Folks, welcome to Local Chat, episode 108. 108 big ones here. Joining me this week, as always, Ian Gibson.
Which version of Windows do you think is the most fuckable? I'm gonna go with like
XP.
I was thinking XP too, man. It's round.
I had
It's
to work.
round.
I had to work with Windows XP this week already because my company
Oh, wow.
hasn't updated it. It's fun.
XP's great though. XP's good.
Jason's company has not updated Windows XP.
Yeah, but
So
I got
sorry.
done fucking it though, so we're good.
I bet.
I was gonna
bet-
say- I was gonna say 3.1 because the 3's like butt cheeks.
All right, so Will's into Granny. I was thinking Vista. I feel like Vista is a real freak in the sheets. You know.
Sure.
Never-
You know
never
what?
got any respect.
I was gonna say whichever one has the most viruses because they get down and dirty.
That's a good one.
So Windows 8.
Yeah.
Windows 8. Yeah. That's good.
Folks, we don't only fuck OSs. We also talk about video games. Ian Gibson has done a thing which I don't know how you managed to do it, which is not watch the Nintendo Direct and then we talk through it.
That's right. Nintendo Direct happened a little more than 24 hours ago. There's two things. Number one is it's a little bit of a like forced social media fast because I basically can't go on Twitter, can't go on Reddit, can't check the news, can't go on Discord. I got to go incognito so I don't get any spoilers from the Nintendo Direct. That being said, I believe there are 3 spoilers. I'm not certain. 2 of these are honestly not my fault because they came out before the Nintendo Direct. I don't know if they're confirmed or not, but the first one is don't tell me if they're confirmed or not.
I
Well,
I won't
No,
even
I
react
you
to it.
guys.
I'll keep Stoneface.
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 First one is that apparently the next Breath of the Wild game is $70. That came out on Twitter before the Direct. The other thing that came out on Twitter before Direct is that the Samba de Amiga is apparently getting a new game. And then the Direct happened. I didn't watch it. And then about 5:35, just after the Direct ended, or I'm assuming the last bits of the Direct, my phone buzzes and I look at it and there are two messages on the lock screen. And they're both from Discord. And the top message is Metroid Prime, and the bottom message is from Will, don't look at Discord. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm ready. Tell me what we got.
Okay, I'll go through it the way my good former guest Gabe
former guest.
Gerwin.
Okay.
Not former guest. He was on the previous guest. Gabe Gerwin wrote this wonderful.
Not allowed back. Not allowed back. Will
sum
didn't
up.
like him.
Yeah, he's not allowed back. I was just talking to him today. I love Gabe.
he was
he
cool.
did a summary article here on GameSpot.com. Bookmark it. Anyways, I'm gonna go by his selection here and start off with there was a Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom official trailer number 2.
I still don't like that name. I
don't, but I think it's because Breath of the Wild's so big.
You just want Breath of the Wild 2?
Like Ocarina of Time is a kind of a big name. Majora's Mask is pretty good.
I think as long as it's like that, I think it's
A
fine.
Link Between Worlds I never liked.
How am I shortening Tears of the Kingdom? T-O-T, like, yeah.
It's even hard to say it fast, like Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom. So
but I think oh no. I was gonna make fun of the one I just said. What was it?
Ocarina of Time.
I would have even taken Fallen Kingdom, even if it's like
no.
Yeah. Fallen Kingdom is good.
What's the 3DS one? I just said
Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks.
No, 3DS.
Phantom Hourglass.
Link Between Worlds, yeah. I was gonna make fun of that one for using the word Link in it, but then Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Anyways, Tears of the Kingdom official trailer 2 came out. There's some fantastic gameplay in there. It opens with a booming voice, who I assume is Ganondorf, talking about summoning evil back into the world. It showed the sky area above the main landmass. The landmass looks pretty similar, except there's new stuff on it, new enemies. There's big flying bat enemies now.
Wow.
There was Link is driving a car that seems put together like nuts and bolts sort of way.
What? No.
And a balloon, like a hot air balloon.
Okay, but not a customizable car. Don't get me that excited. Honestly, I don't want that in a Zelda game now that
I don't think it's customizable, but it looks like the player built it.
Oh, okay.
Out of stuff.
Okay.
And all sorts of stuff. So go check that out on your own time. But it's just another. I don't think Nintendo confirmed it's $70, but it is listed for $70.
Jeez.
No.
Everybody
They
else.
know they're gonna be able to get away with it.
I don't care
Honestly,
because I don't have to pay for my video
Shut the
games.
fuck up. Honestly, my biggest concern is Nintendo games first party almost never go on sale except for maybe $10 off 2 years after they come out. So that means like Sony and Xbox, I'm like, I got Game Pass, I'll wait for a sale, Black Friday, whatever. Nintendo's like, great, I'm paying $70 for that or never playing it.
So what I think I'm going to do, and I know people did as well, some people at work, is they just released the new for $100. You get the 2 Nintendo tickets.
Yeah. Oh, they did it again.
You can do Tears of the Kingdom and Pikmin 4. You could do Tears of the Kingdom and
that's smart.
Other
You're
games.
smart boy.
So I'm going to do that. I said
Look,
Pikmin 4. They showed off a new trailer for Pikmin 4.
I don't mean to jump ahead real quick, but Tears of the Kingdom, cool, gonna be a fun game. Half of my excitement for Tears of the Kingdom though is that I really don't want to play that on a normal Switch. So I'm just gonna ask you point fucking blank, did they announce an updated Switch?
No.
How so you expect me to play this shit on a normal fucking Switch?
I mean, yeah, no, they didn't, Jason. Correct.
Yeah. I just want you to double check just in case Ian doesn't believe me.
Yeah,
they did not.
They did.
Like,
well, what you're saying is they did not. Sorry, specifically, what are you saying they did not announce?
Specifically, what he said.
Sorry, what did you ask? An updated
You
Switch.
fuckers. I want an updated performance Switch.
Okay, so that they did not announce.
That's
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah, that wouldn't be like a second, is what. Anyways,
I don't. Okay,
moving
all
on
right.
here. Ian Gibson.
Yes.
So Pikmin 4 they showed off. Looks like a Pikmin game. There's new Ice Pikmin. There's a little dog that you can like scare around to do stuff. And then at the end, it hard cut and the Pikmin's eyes turned red like Nazi zombies. And it like was nighttime, so maybe there's like some sort of night thing now.
Frenzy or something like that too.
Yeah. It honestly kind of looks like this Tinykin game. That one.
I was about to
that wasn't
say,
that good.
are you more excited about Pikmin 4 or Tinykin 2?
Tinykin 2, 100%. They announced
Exactly.
it. 1,000%.
I'll play Pikmin 4 if it gets good
I
reviews.
like-
I've never played one before, but
But you
We should
haven't?
make a video on Tinykin.
no.
I haven't played a single Pikmin as well, so.
Okay, well you both should
know.
play Pikmin 2 and co-op it. Is what you should do.
Oh, we should co-op it. That's
Can
a good stream
we?
idea.
You can co-op Pikmin 2, yeah.
Over the
Online?
internet?
Ooh, good point.
We
It's
could
an old
parsec it.
game.
We get
You
parsec.
could, yeah. But it is co-op.
Anyways. Ian, I just
Yes.
want I just want to share all your affairs in order because there's a new national tragedy that's going to happen because they announced the release date for Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp.
What's the date? Is it September 10th?
April
Oh.
21st.
April. I think it's around the
Oh my
original date
God.
they were going to release the
Day,
last year.
day after
Day
Hitler's
after
birthday.
Hitler's
birthday. Yeah, so folks, if you didn't know,
Jeez.
Advance Wars 1 was delayed because of 9/11. Advance Wars, this one was delayed because of the war in Ukraine. I think 2 was also delayed. The original 2.
I'm
I
not
forget
sure on
why.
that one, but it might have been. It could have been something
Um,
with Afghanistan because that was around
Yeah.
that time.
or
I
war
had
in
that
Iraq or
joke
something.
since they announced it on the direct. I was like, new national tragedy.
To be clear though, not to steal any thunder, but before the direct, I forget when, it was within the past week, there was a rumor they were going to announce it soon. And I was like, everybody, I can't handle another national tragedy.
Okay. Next up, they did announce, let's just rip this Band-Aid off. Ian Gibson, Metroid Prime Remastered is out
I'm excited.
Okay.
on the Nintendo
You can go
Switch.
first, Ian. Go first, Ian. I want to talk about this too.
Mine's pretty simple. Never played the original. I'm not sure that I wanted to go back for it, and so a remaster is the perfect opportunity for me to hop in.
Okay. Similar. I played the original. It ages it's one of the worst aging, in my opinion. It ages really poorly on the GameCube. Like
That's what I was
control
afraid of.
wise, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Looks a little rough. It's like a weird because it's a shooter on the GameCube. I mean, it's not gonna
Yeah.
age the greatest, but this will get me potentially to play it back because, again, a remaster and with updated controls and stuff would be really nice. But it was not my
awesome.
favorite. It was not my favorite
Th-
series. No,
They say release date.
I think it came out already.
yesterday.
you fuck,
Yeah.
you fucking with me?
I'm about 4 hours into it. It's brilliant and lovely.
Jeez,
I've always
that's
wanted to
good
play it.
Shadow Drop.
I
Hell
just
yeah.
put it on my Steam Deck. I got that GameCube disc in there and was ready to play it. And then they were like, "Hey,
Oh.
what if we put it on the Switch? And what if it came out today?" It runs great, looks great. I saw people nitpicking on the internet about like some things that are different and stuff.
Wait,
but there were
people are
some of
gonna
them people
nitpick on
could-
the internet?
Oh
Wow.
yeah, I know.
Bunch of assholes.
But it's the first time I've been playing it. I'm a little ways into it. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, it's fun. I like it. It's only $30, I think, or it was $40.
Yeah, it's Shadow Drop. It's definitely worth it, by the way. Too.
Did they? Is there any discount for the super max Nintendo Switch Online thingy or no?
No, I don't think so. I
Damn.
used some of the points I had. I had like 300 gold coins from Mario. So yes, that is my redacted game for my play section. It's pretty good.
Nice. I'm excited.
Next up, this doesn't affect me at all, but they have added the Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Advance to Nintendo Switch Online.
Can I add something to this real quick?
You can add something to this.
So the
Real quick.
the games that they already are going to announce, some of the games, one of them that paid my brain because I'm in this universe is Fire Emblem. They're releasing the original Fire Emblem that came out with Lynn, whatever, Ephraim, or not Ephraim, Ellie Wood and Hector from like the first one I was releasing in North America. It aggravates me because they still have not released the one that came out on GBA that has Roy in it internationally. So why wouldn't you internationally release that when you have a chance to? And it came before 7. It's just wild to me. That's wild. And they complain. Here's the thing: I wouldn't mind it so much. This is the same company that complains when somebody emulates their games.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Like I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say. You can't have both. Like
Known Fire Emblem hater, Jason.
Yes.
Pissed.
Of course. But FE7 is coming and some other games too.
Is Sacred Stones on there?
Sacred
Not yet.
7 is. Sacred Stones is 8.
Oh, okay.
Sacred Stones,
Cool.
one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh, really?
I'll say it.
Okay. You can lie when I'm on here. Butter me up if you want.
No.
That's fine.
I'll butter you up
I'm
and
playing
butter
that
you
out.
down.
I got a trip coming up, Jason, so I'm taking my 3DS and I'm going to play that game. It's going to be great.
On the 3DS.
Okay. Yeah, can you believe that? It came out on 3DS. And then Splatoon 3, more DLC. They teased an expansion pass. Wave 1 is some stuff. Wave 2 is some other stuff. If you really care about that.
Splatoon's one of those games that's fantastic. I just wish I liked playing it more. Nothing against the game. It's just my personal interactions with it.
They did announce Castlevania DLC for Dead Cells on the Switch. That looked really
wild,
neat.
Yeah.
I thought they'd already announced that, or was that just teased?
They might have. I might have missed it, but that looked really cool. They showed it off, and it was playing like Barkerville and all the Symphony of the Night songs and all that stuff. Samba de Amigo, Party Central. Yeah,
Barkerville, is that a real Castlevania song?
No, it is. It's after Brad singing Barkerville from Jive.
And okay, all right, because I've never heard any Castlevania music, or at least music that I can clearly go, oh yeah, that's Castlevania music, because I haven't played any. But every time I hear Barkerville, for some reason in my head I go Barkerville, and I don't know where that came from.
I'll play Barkerville for you. I literally have it.
Thank you. So that's, I mean, look, I'll do a quick break right here. So far, this sounds like a banger Nintendo Direct, especially that Metroid Prime Shadow Drop, because that rumor's been out there. But I don't think that rumor was mainstream. So there's probably a lot of people watching this direct that were like, oh my God, bum rushing their Switch. And I'm glad they are expanding the Nintendo Switch Online stuff to more consoles. That's cool.
It is good. But it's just weird the way that they're doing it. We'll say it like that. Yeah. Plus, like, again, people, at least they're providing another way to play. So again, for emulators out there, which I don't know any of people who emulate their games at all.
No, absolutely not. I've got a 3DS. It's got every game I need on there. I don't need to emulate anything.
Just never heard of it. I don't even know what emulate means.
Guys, hack your 3DS. It's so fucking easy. It's just great. It's amazing. It's the best portable console ever made. Did you find it, Will?
One second.
Nah, it's not worth it. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Moving on. Sorry, I think it was Castlevania 2, and I only have 1 on my computer. That's pretty much it from the Direct. Octopath Traveler 2 demo is out.
They had some like not indie games, but a lot of some JRPG mentions too.
Yeah, Ghost Trick.
Ghost Trick is getting a remaster, which is nice. Yeah,
I wanted to play that.
It's good.
Yeah, same.
It's good. I played through it.
That's good. That's big. That's
Etrian
cool.
Odyssey. Is that what the other one?
East Odysseys.
Chronicles of East. They have DLC for Engage that came out yesterday or today or something like yesterday.
Ooh, that'll be nice when I start playing that later this year.
Yeah, it already came out. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
That was pretty much it. Sorry, the Bayonetta Origins, which is a completely different style Bayonetta game.
That game looks like absolute dog shit, and 90% of that hatred is because why are you calling that a Bayonetta game? That's not a Bayonetta game.
Mario Kart
Illusion Island.
Oh, hey, it's not a direct without Mario Kart tracks. Their greatest hit.
Oh,
they're bringing out more waves.
They're bringing out more. Instead of releasing a game, they're like, hey, we're just gonna keep doing this because it works. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
They added Birdo. That's another thing too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
like,
pretty good.
you need to know who Birdo is. I'm like, bitch, we fucking know who Birdo is. Like, it's like Birdo from the game, like Yoshi Island. I'm like, of course we all know who Birdo is, you idiots. It's not like
That's a t-shirt idea.
That's a Mario RPG.
That's a t-shirt idea. Bitch, we know who fucking Birdo is.
So dumb.
That's a good one, bitch. We know Roberto. They announced a new Professor Layton game, New World of Steam.
That actually,
I'm very excited for.
I don't think they've done one in a while because for a while they were just doing mobile stuff. I think so. That's actually interesting.
They announced the Danganronpa like game too, which actually looks pretty good as well. The one in the rain. I forget what it's called. It's like it's the rain something files. I don't remember what it is.
But it's by the same devs, right?
Right. It's by Spike Chun, or not Spike. I think it's just Chunsaw. I can't remember who makes it.
They announced the Etrian Odyssey games. I've never seen them before, but they're dungeon, like JRPG dungeon crawlers. So you map out while you're walking too. But apparently they remastered 3 of them. You can buy them together, but they're $30 each by themselves, which seems like a lot of money for these games.
It's Rain Code. That's what it is.
Rain Code.
Rain Code.
And it's made by the same company. Yeah.
It was.
I'm just judging by your reaction. I'm guessing they announced some new cosmetic variant of the Switch for Tears of the Kingdom or something like that.
Yeah, the deluxe edition.
Okay.
No,
you're close, Ian. It is Switch 2 though, right there.
Yeah, Switch 2. No, they didn't actually announce any.
I'm worried, honestly, because Breath of the Wild ran
the last one.
Oh, it ran okay. It ran
the last
okay
big game. The Switch. Yeah. It's Breath of the Wild. They were waiting for Breath of the Wild, and they're gonna do something after it.
And then just there are so many games on the Switch that just do not run well because of that hardware, and so I am worried about Tears of the Kingdom.
We'll talk about when we get there, but the Fire Emblem runs great. I was worried about the same thing because the Pokemon did not run well. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Pokemon. Okay, I'm excited. Great direct. Thank you guys for enlightening me. That was good stuff.
You're welcome.
Something for everybody.
Sorry, I just noticed my bitrate keeps tanking. It's okay. Moving on. That's why we record these. Moving on. We're done with the Nintendo Direct. I think
that's right.
That was it.
We get the heavy stuff here. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, nice and heavy.
Nice and heavy.
We're going to wait till next week, but I figured this is the week to talk about it because the game comes out tomorrow and is out in a lot of places.
It's because I have groundbreaking takes on this, obviously. They knew.
Yeah, Yoshi has died. I'm sorry, that's the sad news.
JK.
Oh, God.
The Hogwarts Legacy boycott, folks. We're here to talk about it. We're here to play the game. Secret Stream. No. We're just going to talk about it because obviously it's a big topic in the media right now. People are playing the game. Ian, do you want to start us off? I don't know where we're starting.
It's the most streamed game I think on Twitch right now too.
Yeah,
actually,
it hit 1.2 million viewers. So, first of all, excuse me. First of all, I think I can easily speak for all of us when I say we do not support J.K. Rowling's stance on transgender representation and rights. None of us support that. We think it's completely reprehensible, what she's stated and what she stands for. That's not what this discussion is about. You know, the fact that she's anti-transgender is not up for debate, and the fact that she's a bigot because of that is not up for debate. It's a fact at this point. But where I think we can have a healthy discussion is in how different media outlets are handling Hogwarts Legacy. So some media outlets are choosing not to cover it at all. Some of them are covering it, but with healthy disclaimers at the top. Some of it are not even having a disclaimer. And then there's also just the in general games community's response to that from across the spectrum, from people who support trans rights to the extent that they're essentially flaming anyone who even mentions the game or tries to play the game. You've got people in the middle who don't really know what to do, but they want to play Hogwarts Legacy. And then you got people on the right who are deliberately supporting the game and trying to not review bomb it, but review praise it because they think it is an anti-trans game and that represents their extremist political beliefs. So I think there is a healthy discussion here, and I think we should have it because, like it or not, we're all part of the games media. absolutely on the fringe. But I think there's a discussion to be had here about how do you properly cover and discuss Hogwarts Legacy in such an environment. Jason, you said you had some I don't want
Right.
to say hot takes, but you had some thoughts on this.
Right. So I'm not gonna say it's like exactly they don't one-to-one correlate or whatnot. But it was similar when the whole thing about Blizzard came out, and if you did it, you were basically supporting what the atrocities they were doing in China. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying like it's not a one because you directly support like this person who is saying all these bigoted things or whatnot versus you're getting this company that has ties to it. It's a little different, obviously. But like it's a way of like if you're gonna boycott the game, I think that's totally fair. That's your choice to do whatever you want to do. You can boycott Blizzard as a whole. You can boycott Hogwarts Legacy as a whole. I think it gets really dangerous when you see other people playing the game and you go such like vitriol towards them and like attack them for doing so, especially like games media who are trying to report it or something like that. That's really dangerous.
Absolutely.
Like
And
you can even stop watching streamers if you want to too, but like attacking
Yeah.
people is just crazy. Like so.
And I think honestly, one of the most upsetting things about this whole drama is I have seen members of the games media on Twitter specifically point out some of the sites and reviews for Hogwarts Legacy and saying they got a key and they are deliberately putting out a positive review because they are being paid for that review, or they are being coerced either by their advertisers or by the publisher or by pressure that they don't want to disappoint Warner Brothers. And it's like, okay, that's fucking ridiculous. Because first of all, how can you say that when we're still reeling from the aftermath of Gamergate, which was the exact same baseless accusations, but from the other side? You know, you can't go after a reviewer and accuse them of being a paid reviewer unless you have like direct concrete evidence and proof of that. I understand you don't like the game. I understand you don't like the person who made the game, and I understand you want to boycott it, but I don't think that gives you the right to go out and fling mud at anybody who does decide to cover the game, especially if they're working for an organization and the organization has decided to cover the game and therefore they're covering it. That's just I think you're absolutely right, Jason. It's choose however you want to address this topic, but don't use that as a reason to just spread absolute hatred against people that disagree with you. Speaking of disagreement, Will, what do you think?
My whole stance on the thing is, obviously the things again that J.K. Rowling thinks are awful, and she attacks people, and that's not good. But also attacking people for just playing a video game who might not know any of that, or they're playing a video game, it's their choice. Bullying from either side is still bullying, even if you think you're in the right. You can educate people, you can tell them why you think they're wrong, you can tell them why you're not watching their thing, but seeking out someone to gratify your not white knight, but your like morality is not how morality works. And forcing the correct option onto someone, like, again, it is not how it works. Yeah, it's just like either play the game or don't play the game. It's your choice. It's not you can tell people about it, but you can't force people to listen to you, because that is exactly how you get into the place where she is thinking she can force people to do things.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit mind-boggling and frustrating because Hogwarts Legacy is a moral gray area. That game and all of Harry Potter IP is a moral gray area. You know, there are boycotts that are understandable, where you can say, hey, if you consume this media, you are X. You know, so for example, if you consume the Turner Diaries, or if you consume Mein Kampf or any other medium with some sort of like actual sense of like, I support this, I recognize this, I think there is worth in this media. There are pieces of media, like I said, Mein Kampf, Turner Diaries, etc., Zionist Protocols of Zion, or Elders of Zion, whatever it's called, where it's like, yeah, you're an anti-Semite, you're a racist, etc., because you are deliberately consuming that media to agree with it because you support it. Hogwarts and Harry Potter is not that. There is nothing inherently and totally like racist or anti-trans in Harry Potter. There are absolutely some questionable pieces of it, but it's not like Hogwarts Legacy or Harry Potter is this like giant anti-trans scroll. It's not like the Chronicles of Narnia where it's trying to like shove some like religion or propaganda down your throat. And so if people so just real quick, if people don't know about J.K. Rowling, or even if they know about J.K. Rowling's belief, they can still consume Harry Potter because it is a separate piece. You do have a little bit of moral gray area because you consuming gives money to that IP and she will get her royalty cut and you can deal with that. But you just consuming the media does not immediately make you racist, anti-trans, etc.
Go ahead, Will.
I was just going to agree with you, like, to that point, is that that's why people feel so betrayed by her, is because the books don't read that way, and then you meet the person and you were like, ugh. And also, this wasn't like, I don't know, like, if she felt this way when she was writing these books, like, it's obviously something that has developed over time. I think she is the type of person who would have put it into her books, but I just don't think, A, she didn't feel this way when she wrote these books, or it wasn't on her radar, or it also wasn't that big of an issue as it is today. Not issue, but thing that people are comfortable saying now, which is a good thing. Like, people should be able to do that. So I think it's the same way with consuming other books by authors who don't always turn out to be great. Whether they don't turn out to be great because they eat meat and you don't like to eat meat, or they turn out to not be great because they like killing children and you don't like killing children. Which is the thing everyone should not like doing.
It's always been a gray area. For that kind of stuff. I think there's legitimate criticisms to make about like in the books, like yes, like what Ian says is I don't think any of the like very vitriolic rhetoric that is in there is present in the books, but there's legitimate criticisms you can make towards the books, and if that's what when you want to abstain, like the way they treat minorities in the books, not great, not with the names and stuff. And that's like, if you want to play it because that, like, not like, or bash it for that, I 100% was like, you know what? That's a look. I'm down. Like 100%. I see why. Like that is your like. I'm out. Like that's. There's plenty of like actual ways to go at this thing, this media piece right here, that I think beyond just like immediately going after somebody because they like the thing. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that people put into things without realizing it, and again, to say this is not a defense of her as a person at all. More of a defense of things can be separate. Art is different than the artist. And I feel like so many things have shown that on so many different scales that it's a way to do it.
Especially when the reasons why you hate the artist have absolutely nothing to do with the art. You know, if the art does not contain those beliefs, if the art is separate from the artist and can stand on its own without any sense of hatred or bigotry, then that's where things get even more gray. And just thinking about how I do want to play this game, especially seeing the reviews. I do like Harry Potter and I do want to play this game. And honestly, I wasn't sure how to handle that ethically, but I think, Will, you had a fantastic idea, which is if you buy the game, turn around and donate that same amount or higher to charity. Just try and cancel out that royalty check as much as you can.
Yeah, I purchased the game, and then I like Ian saying, there's going to be links in the description. There's a great GameSpot article written by Jesse Earl, who is trans, about the effects of Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling on the trans community. There's also another article about charities you can donate to. You don't have to donate to those charities. It's just a list of charities that we have tagged to every article at work. So I just went with the first list on there, and I donated money to that. I donated more because I was like, might as well round up for the good side. So I actually came up with that solution today with some people in a meeting. It was like,
it's a good solution.
Yeah, like that makes me feel good about it. Also, in my situation, none of the money for the charities coming out of my pocket, but the money for the game isn't coming out of my pocket. So I feel even better about that. That's my quick, even more excuse.
Yeah.
But I'm right there with you, Ian. I've been a fan of Harry Potter for a while. Then I wasn't for a while. Then I definitely wasn't because of J.K. Rowling. And then I read, like, I am at this point like interested in seeing a good Harry Potter game finally, as someone who's played a lot of bad Harry Potter games. So I think that's how I can feel comfortable. Now, someone listening to this, that's not the way you might not feel comfortable doing that, but that's the way we've chosen to feel comfortable about doing it. So
yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think what we're all saying is hey, this is a complicated situation. Take some time to think about it. Make your choice. We support you in whatever choice you make.
Totally.
As long as you're the one making it, and as long as you don't slam anybody else for making their choice.
Yeah.
And it's that second part that has been personally frustrating for me, is seeing how the games media and people I respect in the games media turning around and slamming others just for buying or playing this game. And it's like, it's not clear fucking cut like that.
Some streamers straight up said they can't because they're afraid of the backlash they're going to get. So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was less afraid of, like, I was thinking we might stream it, but I don't want to stream it because
I don't want to stream it. It's not a stream game.
That too.
You know?
I don't want to stream it just to stream it and get the clout or whatever it is. I also don't want to stream it because what you're saying, it's not a stream game. Also, I don't want to hurt. Like, I feel like that's an extra step of showing off that you're playing it that I don't personally want to do. And then on top of that,
it's a big game this year. It's getting a lot of news coverage, so therefore we feel like we should talk about it. And also it is getting good reviews, so some of us are planning on playing it as a possible game of the year contender because of the reviews that it's getting. And so I don't want to say we're being forced into covering it, but we will cover it to the extent that we think it warrants, the same as any other game. But we're not going to go above and beyond for this, the same as we wouldn't for any other game that's ho-hum. You know?
Yeah. And trans rights are human rights, and I think we all think that. So
absolutely.
So at the end of the day, if you were like, hey, which do you choose? I'm not going to go with Hogwarts Legacy, but for now, I'm going.
But I hear what you're saying, but fuck that noise. There is not a clear-cut choice here. It is not an either-or choice.
I'm joking.
Yeah, that's not what this is.
Exactly. Okay. Is that everyone said what they want to say about Hogwarts Legacy?
Yeah.
Okay. I wish we had J.K. Rowling pinata that we could just hit while doing the segment the whole time, or just her burning in the corner or something. That'd be great.
Jeez.
Edit it in.
Yeah, I'll edit it in that. Yeah, I'll totally do that in post. Okay. Moving on, we can finally talk about the games we've been playing. Yay! That's okay. There's not much news this week. I'll go quick. I picked up SteamWorld Dig and I finished SteamWorld Dig in about 6 hours. Very good video game. Very good video game.
You got to play 2. I never played 1, but 2 is very good, and people said 2 is better than 1.
Yes, I was gonna start 2, but I said I can't. I don't want to get burnt out because I just played 6 hours of 1. I started SteamWorld Heist, which
I played that.
Yes, it's Karen loves
the
it.
Shooter. Yeah.
Yes, the XCOM-y shooter. XCOM-y. Karen played it years ago. She loved it, so I'm checking that out. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a good watching TV and playing game because it's not actively running.
No.
I also have Hand of Gilgamesh on there that I might check out, and then I'll eventually get to SteamWorld Dig 2. Very excited for that. Metroid Prime Remastered. Incredible. I'm just having a blast with it. I had to check a guide twice, but it was because I saved in the middle of what I was doing to we were having dinner or something, and then I didn't play till today, and I was just like, okay, I just got this item. What do I have to go do?
Is this the first time you played it?
Yeah, I've never played it before.
Okay.
So excited for that. To play more of that, and then Dwarf Fortress. I've just been playing a bunch of Dwarf Fortress, and I can't stop.
You guys and your Dwarf Fortress thing.
We have to, Jason. I'm so happy you're here because I want to tell you what has happened on our stream.
Go ahead, I'm ready for it.
So first of all, our first fort, real quick. First episode, we built the fort up. It's great. It was in a wintry zone, and I was a little paranoid about water because the stream was frozen over. And at the end of the second stream, we didn't have our well built, and the winter came, and everybody died of dehydration because the stream outside froze, and we didn't have a source of water. So, first fort, lasted 2 episodes, and then we were done. Second fort, we flip it over to Will. Will starts up a fort, and we got up to. Were you up to like 70 people at one point this last stream, or was it like 50? It was a decent number of dwarfs. Like we had it cooking. We had that.
Well, we did one episode for the second fort, and then we stopped playing, and I started a third fort.
Oh, this is the third fort. Okay, but anyways, this past episode we got up to a decent sized fort. It was like 50
we had
to 70 people.
70,
Yeah. So it was really good. And then a were elk and a were lizard.
Is that a random event?
Nope. So people in the world. So the world has thousands of people in it. I had a tavern that was open for people to come visit. So these people were freely moving about the world, living their were elk and were lizard lives, turning every full moon, and they were just visiting my lovely establishment when they decided to both turn into them.
And they just turned. Yeah, and they just killed a bunch of people in the tavern. But it was only like 4 or 5 people that died, and then we killed them. And we were like, okay, that's fine. And then a month later, they showed up again, and we were like, wait a minute, what happened? And then we both realized we're idiots. Where means if they bite anybody, then that person becomes infected, and you won't know until the next full moon when they turn. so we had, at this point, we knew what we had to do, and we're watching the fight and like pausing it and reading it, and we realized we had like 5 or 6 people that were bitten at this point.
Okay.
And we were like,
did you kick them out of the town?
So we were like, we can kick them out. We can try and kill them, which is a little hard because you can't directly kill them. You have to like do an accident to them, or we can just lock them in a room and hope they eventually die. But apparently they don't need food or water, so they would never actually die. They would just be stuck in a room. And then we were like, or we could just treat them normally, but we know when the full moon is, so we'll just lock them away during the full moon and then let them out. And then we were reading the wiki, and we kind of got the idea. We could either every full moon deal with this problem and try and quarantine, etc., or we could just let them bite everybody in the fortress, and then we just have a fortress full of were people that except for the full moon are normal, and then just once a month they go crazy and then they go back to normal. And so we spent another 3 or 4 months. At one point we got down to 2 people alive, I believe. Because they would turn, they would kill a bunch of people and bite them, and then they would usually die, but they would bite enough people that the next full moon, like 10 of them would show up.
Okay, you still got 2 people though.
So we have 2, I believe they're both were elks. There are only 2 people. When they turn into were elks, our population goes to 0 because they're not part of it, and then they turn back. So I have not yet. I need to prep the save file for our next episode, but I need to go back in and start clean up because there's a lot of blood and bones everywhere.
But it's this crazy thing because we're now like, this isn't game over though, because we can technically just have a fortress full of were people. And we looked it up, and like, it's actually kind of nice because they don't need to eat, they don't need to drink, and just once a month they tear their clothes off. So they said you just need to have a bunch of like fresh clothes around, so when they go back to normal they put their clothes back on, and then they may just destroy furniture. So it's almost may actually be easier. And then we're still going to have people that come to the tavern that will bite, and they'll join our population. We're still going to have migrants. So Dwarf Fortress, just such an absolutely insane game, and I can't believe that happened on stream, and it's still working. Like, we're just going to keep going ahead with a fortress full of were people. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It's God, that game. I haven't played it in a couple days. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing this new thing where I play a new game. I'm not doing the bit this week, but I just didn't talk about the game.
I'm ready.
Sorry, Jason. I have a book called
I'm
1001
ready for the
Games. Games to play before you die.
Okay.
It's a big old book. It's right over here.
I wrote that book, by the way.
Now it's happening.
Hey.
Make sure
Right
you credit me.
Is this big book? It's
See,
your book.
Yeah, exactme.
It's you.
I'm
You're Peter
John
Molyneux.
Lasky. Yeah, that's okay.
I'm so happy
Close
you're
enough.
here.
Yeah.
Tell me about Fable. Ian's going over there to fart.
Fable.
So I'm gonna pick a game from this every week and play it. I'm not gonna do it on stream every week, but I'm just gonna talk about the game. So last week.
Question real quick. Does it have to be the direct game, or if they give you like a game from the series, you're like, okay, I don't want to play that game, or I don't have that game accessible. Can I play another game from the series? Would that cover it? Yeah.
No, you give me a number and I turn to that page.
Oh, okay.
So, last week Stu and Ian picked Diablo 2 for me.
Okay.
A game I have not played before. I played Diablo 1 during the pandemic lockdown. So I installed Diablo 2. First of all, shouts out to Blizzard. All sorry, not in a in a good way.
Careful.
All of their older games, EXEs and install files are available on their website.
Yes.
They still have troubleshooting and FAQs for those games
because they're their
to
best
get
games.
them running.
Everybody thinks it's WoW, and no offense to the WoW people, but it's Diablo, it's StarCraft, and it's the original Warcraft. Sorry, it really is.
So I forgot during the
Offended a lot of
pandemic,
people, though.
I bought Diablo 2 so I could play it, and like you load it in, it goes over to Battle.net. You put your codes for the games are saved to your Battle.net file, so you just copy the code from there and paste it in the like install wizard, and it does all that stuff. Suffice to say, I beat a couple bosses in original Diablo 2, and then I said, this is fun, but it could be more fun, so I bought Diablo 2 Resurrected. And it turns out you can just copy your character over to Resurrected. So I literally moved save files from one folder to the other folder. I didn't realize, I thought Resurrected was more of a remake. It is a straight remaster.
How's that book that thick, by the way?
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote it, but like, do they describe the game in it? Yeah.
It's 1,000 pages. It's one page per game.
Yeah.
Right, but do they what do they give, like a synopsis of it, or like why you should play?
It's like a mini review synopsis.
Oh, is it a review? Okay.
Like, well, not a review. It's like why you should play this game.
Okay, it is like a why you should play it. Okay, I didn't know if it was like a little. Okay.
So Diablo 2, I'm gonna keep playing. It's a good podcast game. Just throw it on, walk around, click on things. I felt after I did my research, folks. On the Diablo Resurrected, that it was closer to the original that I realized, and you can also switch the graphics mode back over. So I'm just playing that, and I'm glad I played it. It's really fun.
Right.
Because I brought the whole thing up. Jason, give me a number.
Oh, I have to give you a number, or if I look up the book and try to give you a game.
No, you got to give me a number.
Yeah, but now I looked at the book and I found the game.
Okay, give me the page number then. Give me the page number.
Well, I lost the page number now.
Oh.
Fine. It's gonna be like the way I assume based off of what I was trying to do is earlier pages are obviously like earlier release games. It goes in a release order.
70s to 2013.
Right. I'm gonna say, I don't know if I'll hit it, but I hope I do, because I forgot what the page number is, so I didn't cheat. I'm gonna say 403.
403?
Yes.
It's Diablo 1.
Can you imagine? Oh, 404. 403. I don't think this is the game you want me to play.
It is not probably at all. It's not.
It is Quake 3 Arena.
Not even close.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I was trying to get you to land on Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, actually.
I did start playing that.
Yeah.
Earlier this week. It's Karen's. I thought she just liked that game. I literally booted the game up and she was like, "Oh, here's the build you should go for the first playthrough."
The build.
And I was like, "What?"
I know exactly what she's talking about. You max your BP probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
incredible. BP is OP in that game. Yeah. It's super strong.
Like, you can get super high defense and no health, and you'll be perfectly fine the entire time.
BP is really strong.
That's incredible. I can't wait to tell her that the Fire Emblem strategy expert.
It's made by the same company. It's Intelligent Systems.
It's a Fire Emblem game. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
That's why.
You know what? In your honor, I'll switch it to Paper Mario. I don't want to play.
Okay. Well, you said you're already playing it, so we're good.
I literally booted it up, but I was inebriated, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to play this right now.
A little long though. I feel bad for you. These games can be really. I saw a lot of long games in these things, so good luck with that.
I set myself a 2 hour or an hour to 2 hour. I have to play it. If I want to continue playing it, I will.
Okay.
Like Diablo 2, I'm going to continue playing.
It's crazy because I saw Fable was in there, and I prefer Fable 2 to Fable. They're both good games, but that's why I asked like if you could switch.
I think
You know what I'm saying?
Fable 2's also in there.
Is it? Okay, maybe that's why.
But it's funny. I do also prefer Fable 2 to Fable.
I do. Yeah,
I almost started up Fable 2 the other day, and I booted that up, and I went, I don't know if this has aged well, and I stopped playing it.
Yeah. It's like if somebody told me to play the original Assassin's Creed, I'm like, no, I'll play just 2
Yeah,
and be happy with my life. I'm gonna play an Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 1, the setting is great, but the game.
Yeah, it is. Yep, it is.
Jason, do you want to tell us
Yes.
about Fee? And
Yeah, let's mention real quickly because I got this from you guys. The last time I was on the channel, you suggested the Golden Idol game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We streamed that game. Me and the boys. We finished it in 2 streams. Great game. Peter Bentley popped off. I did not expect that. The boy, whatever his name is, popped off. We got really attached to the characters in it because you go from like thing to thing. You're like, oh my god, is this guy gonna make it or is this guy gonna succeed? Oh, there he is! Like he's still around. He's just faking his identity or something like that. But it is a really good detective game. It's probably in my top 5 of the games I played in terms of game of the year last year.
Yes.
Thank you.
But
we had some open fights over here because Will and I really enjoyed it. It was my personal number 1. Will, I think it was in like your probably your top 3, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then Jake and Kyle played it. Kyle didn't like it at all. Jake didn't like it either, which was surprising because it feels like a Jake game in a way. So they basically didn't want it on the top 10 list, and Will and I wanted it in like top 3.
Impasse.
So we had to settle at number 6.
I think it's also a couple things that make it good or bad. Like we played a group of people, and you're like, oh, we're all trying to come up with a theory, like noticing things. You get hyped when they notice something, or like that's awesome, or something like that. Also, if you go into it and you don't find the thing, it can be frustrating that they're trying to get you to do. And you might just start plugging in. I could see why people are just like, I'm just plugging in answers to get through this part of the game, because you could just start just guessing. The coolest segment was the one where, I'm not going to spoil anything, but they had a segment where you had to like guess numbers based off their crimes or whatever, and you had to deduct points. I was like, this is fucking awesome when you have to like go in there and deduct their like values and whatever.
And that
the whole reason for it is crazy too. The extravagance or whatever.
Yeah.
The final chapter though just blew me away. I was like, oh my god, that is incredible.
I didn't expect the final chapter at all. Like I didn't expect how hard it was. I mean that the one chapter where they're all the mask chapter, I can just say that one was like a while. Like when you first, that was like, what am I into right? What am I getting into right now? So
that's when it starts to go crazy.
Yeah. So we played that and finished it. Really liked it. So I want to give you shout outs to you guys because you guys pointed us to it, and I said, hey, they played this first, so they're the cool. They're the cool guys, you know.
So good, such a great game.
I don't want to take too much time on FE Engage. I'll be really swift because we're already like 50 minutes in the show. I'll try to be as quick as I can. Story is, if you are going into this game and if you have anything with Three Houses, you might not like this game because Three Houses plays kind of like a Persona game, a little bit more serious in its story approach, grounded. This game, the story is like a Power Rangers. You literally have like things that like soup you up. Like you get like emblems from the past games. Well, you like Sacred Stones. Guess who's in the game? Erica. I get Erica ring. You can get an Erica ring and like have her like team up with you and give you powers to fight. So like they give you like bonuses. They give you stats bonuses like passives, and then you have like an active like move you can do to like team up and do like this special move. And you get one per each Fire Emblem game in the past. Throughout the game, and their protagonists are the emblem rings. The DLC just released some new ones, but it's super fucking cool to have like past characters come in and help you out. That's why I said it's like Power Rangers. You get like a suit. They change how you look. They have like quotes based off like what like Ike says. You'll get no sympathy from me when you use them. That's an Ike quote, but like the new character says that because they're like imbued with them. It's wild. But like I said, it's Power Rangers. You're versing like Putty, which is like undead dudes, and then you're versing like really clowny, like bad guys who are just like bad for being like bad. The story is nothing spectacular, but it's probably the most fun I've had with a Fire Emblem game in terms of like how fun it is, how wild, just like it's so much fun. And you can get right into the missions. They kept some stuff from Three Houses with the monastery stuff, but it's a lot quicker than that. So A very, very fun game. It's definitely in my top like 5 for just having fun with the game. Probably maybe top
Awesome.
3. So
I'm
awesome.
excited. I'm gonna play it at some point. It just didn't hit at a good point for me. So
Right.
it's one of those things where it's like I'm gonna play it this year, but I gotta wait a bit before I can start it.
just know the gameplay is super. Everybody will say the gameplay is good. That like if you look
Hell
at
yeah.
the media outlets or any reviews, the story is where they're kind of like, I wanted Three Houses. I'm like, as a guy who I think Three Houses took a direction I didn't appreciate as much. Not that it's a bad game.
Piece of dog shit is what
Not
it is.
not that it's a bad game. It's just too much to replay. Like I can't get into
Yeah.
it. I wanna start playing the maps. The map design is great. The mechanics are great. The characters get like there's a character that's like they go with wild with their character designs. Like there's a Danny Elfman character I call her because she looks like a character from fucking Nightmare Before Christmas. Like that's a wild design choice.
Why not
But
Tim Burton?
I fucking love her. I fucking love her. She's a berserker and she's got like little stitches on her face. And her name's Panette. She looks like a doll. Like an evil like murder doll.
Oh,
It's
that's
stupid.
Scary.
It's scary, yeah. She's a berserker with a huge
terrifying.
axe. Yeah. But I love her.
Huge what?
Axe.
Jeez.
Ass.
Oh, axe.
Obviously. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, a super fun game. I think you'll have like a fun time with it. I know. Again, if you like Three Houses, it's definitely a different direction than that. So just know that going in.
I don't know what my next Fire Emblem is going to be.
But I tried to sell you off with Erica
Engage.
though.
Because Engage, it's probably going to be on
I
the
think
GOTY
so.
list. So
I have.
I don't think it will. It actually scored relatively because people going into it, I want Three Houses, so they all said like I didn't get Three Houses, so they rated like an 83, which I think is around fine. Like I think like 85 to 90, I thought would have been perfectly fine. It's a little lower than I would have liked, but hey, strategy games are always a hit or miss for people who like I can't play the game because
True.
yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking for my next Fire Emblem, it might be Path of Radiance.
If you can get a hold of Path of Radiance, that's the one I suggest.
I do have a hold of it, so
Okay. I think
I
that is
might
my
look
that
at
is
Path of Radiance.
that is in my top 3 100% just for story alone, and the characters I think are some of the best cast lists. So
Cool. Maybe I'll do that because
Just-
I'm debating a second run of Sacred Stones.
and playing the other route.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sounds
you could do
pretty
that.
Fun.
Yeah.
I'll
But yeah.
think about it.
This is it. This is in my top 5, maybe top 3, and that's saying something. I don't like whenever somebody asks what's your favorite one, I don't give a definitive answer. I just say top 3, top 4, and this is
Yeah.
definitely in there.
I do.
I like this better than Three Houses. So,
Wow.
yeah, and Three
That's a
Houses
huge
people goated it. So
It's gonna be up
It's
in
a fun game.
lights. Awesome. Thank you, Jason, for telling us about that. Next up, it's time for the news, which is gonna be a quick section, but I'll play the news theme anyways, cause it's fun. It's time for the news. Time for the news, everybody. Save data teams here. You made it just in time for the news.
wow, they didn't rate.
Go
though.
donate. Go
wow, I
donate.
didn't rate.
Wow.
Wow.
No. They rated. You guys didn't get that notification?
No.
No, I don't see it.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
They rated
Well, at
somebody
least
else.
go
They didn't
donate.
rate.
I should kick him.
No.
Ban 'em. Yeah, where's Halucha to ban them? Not a ton in the news this week. Ian, you have sequestered out one story here that you're desperate,
Yes.
frothing at the mouth to talk about.
It's honestly I am a little bit because the story of the Microsoft Activision Blizzard King merger is endless. There is 3 news stories around it every week minimum, and 90% of them are just fluff or conjecture or not that important. But there was a big one that hit this week, which is that the UK's CMA investigation, CMA is basically their mergers and acquisitions governmental approval body. They have a report coming, but they have released a provisional report which concludes that, quote, Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision could result in higher prices, fewer choices, or less innovation for UK gamers, end quote. And I think what's really interesting here is that they have a further section where they say, quote, at this stage, the CMA has identified the following possible structural remedies, aka these are things that could be done as part of the merger that would make them feel better and allow the deal to go ahead versus them prohibiting the merger. And they've got 3 options here. Number 1, I'm gonna dumb these down. Call of Duty,
Thank you.
not part of the deal. sell off Call of Duty. It's not part of the deal. Number 2, sell Activision outside of the deal. Microsoft doesn't get Activision and they don't get Call of Duty, but they get everything else. Number 3, they don't get Activision, they don't get Blizzard, which means they don't get Call of Duty and they don't get World of Warcraft, but they get King and everything else with it. This is pretty fucking ruthless here. This is them saying, look, we're gonna stand in the way of this deal unless you gut it at a minimum Call of Duty, if not both Activision and Blizzard.
So wait, these are 3 choices where the first choice is clearly the best choice?
It sounded like that to me when you read them off.
In a way, yes. And it's not that they're presenting these as these are your only choices. They're just saying, hey, these are 3 things you could do that could make us feel better.
But they're not 3 things. It's 1 thing they could do with degrees of worseness.
Yeah.
Well,
that's fair.
Because why would you choose to do 2 or 3? 1 is the easier version of those other 2.
Because 1 may not be enough for the US body.
I see.
Can I ask Ian, what do you think this is fair for, like, what is going, like, you know, like for the
No, because I think Sony's done a fantastic job of being a little bitch boy. They keep literally flying to Europe to meet with the CMA people and be like, they're killing us. How are they doing this to us? And meanwhile, they've got a fucking banger of a console out there. They clearly won the last gen. They've got a shitload of exclusives out the ass. They've already gotten Microsoft to capitulate on, what was it? It was either 8 or 10 years of Call of Duty being multi-platform and still selling on PlayStation. And I believe part of that proposed deal was also not being on Game Pass. They have already gotten a lot out here, and Sony is the market leader in this space above Microsoft. But based on what CMA is saying here, they're acting like if Microsoft gets Call of Duty, it's going to be the end of the world. And it's not, because Call of Duty is popular, but it's also waning in popularity. And there is nothing stopping EA from making the Battlefield series better. There is nothing stopping Sony from revitalizing Killzone. There's nothing stopping any other studio from making a game just like Call of Duty, but better, which honestly wouldn't be that hard to do, and regaining market share. Like, it's not like Call of Duty is like, it's not IBM. It's not like there's a shitload of like physical retail real estate assets tied to Call of Duty. It is a balloon in a way, and it's worth something now, but that could tank. All it takes is like 2 years of 2 terrible games in a row, and that whole IP fucking tanks. So I think for them to like pin the tail on the donkey of Call of Duty and say like, this is a Colossus and it can't go to one company it's bullshit.
Well, I think they're similar to, I think they're attaching something to it so they have like, this is what like would sell you on Activision or something. Like, this is what connects you to Activision. They're using that to represent it though, as the, you know.
Yeah, but it's just that's what Sony keeps screaming, is that they can't have Call of Duty because Call of Duty is a monopoly. And it's not. Call of Duty is just not a monopoly. It's a large market share today, but just look at all these other games, you know, Battlefield, Gears of War, etc., that went from market leaders to nothing. Look at Halo. Halo's nothing now. So it's like, I think this is ridiculous. There are absolutely, it's okay to have some concerns about this deal, but to act like Call of Duty going to Microsoft with all the capitulation they've already done, I don't see this being as much of a screaming concern as the CMA presents it out to be. But this is
if Call of Duty switched hands. Sorry, just
yeah,
to clarify.
exactly. If Call of Duty switched hands, if Call of Duty became a Microsoft game.
Right, but let me ask you this: you mentioned Halo; it switched hands from Bungie to whatever 4. I forget the company's name.
Yeah, 343. Yeah.
Yes, right. Do you think that is where it started to go downhill, though? If that's a fair question to ask, like if
no, I think it started to go downhill with like Halo 3. It was kind of more of the same at that point.
Okay, I get that, but
yeah.
3 is like sacred to me. So like I get that.
It's not that there's anything wrong with 3. I just think like 1 was fantastic, 2 was fantastic, 3 was more of the same fantastic. But it's not like 2 did anything super different from 1 or 3 did anything super different from 2. And so it's like 4 is still good, 5 is still good. It is a completely separate discussion, but it's just like, it's not like, I think Halo got stale is what happened. and not that it
Okay.
necessarily got
And
bad.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty got bad.
Okay.
And
I
a
will
little
not
stale.
take the Halo 3 slander. It is the best Halo
It's
game.
not slander against Halo 3. It's just saying like
I mean,
It
I
is
think
the
it's
best Halo
too.
game,
I
other
think
than
it's the best,
ODST.
too. I actually think Reach is pretty good too, but
Reach
as
is pretty
well,
good.
so
I would say it went downhill starting with Halo 4.
that's what I was gonna
So.
say.
this
Sorry to
I
cut
thi-
you off. That I just wanted to ask that question.
Yeah, but I think the big thing here is that there's been a lot of rumors, there's been a lot of conjectures, but this is a clear report from a governmental body that Microsoft really needs to get approval from in order for this deal to go through. And this body is basically saying, again, they'll have the final report in a couple weeks. The body is in this preliminary report is basically saying, we're not going to let it go through as is. You're going to have to take some major cuts here, and that's going to be a problem. So fireworks are coming, folks.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see it.
Wild. Well, any other? I don't think any of this news is worth hitting.
You brought in Darkest Dungeon, which is kind of interesting to me. It's not anything too crazy on it. I just wanted to, if you have it there, I can mention something.
Yeah, go for
quickly
it.
on
Go for it.
Darkest Dungeon 2 has been in. I always played the first one at like a pretty religious amount. I hate saying the word religious because that sounds like I'm like some kind of fucking cultist or something like that. But I played it a lot, and I was like excited for the second one. The second one came out. I think it was not even last October. I think it was the October before that. They had pre-release or beta or something like that. And then a whole year went by, and now we're a year and like some change, 3 months, 4 months, whatever from October. Actually, probably more like 5. And I'm like, how is this game not like released? Or like, I'm just surprised at how little the game has been updated since too, for the long time it's been in the beta in comparison to the second one. I just want to say it's very strange to me how weird this one's been developed. They had like one big DLC patch where they had like you go to a different new region, but they've been adding characters very slowly. They already have their characters they've had, like their roster's still smaller than the first game, and I'm like really disappointed. We'll say I like the game still, but I'm disappointed with how it releases in May, which is what you said in the thing. But I'm surprised it's that late. I thought they would have been like a year or so after, and maybe after they release it, they'll have like the full character list out. But I'm excited for this, but it's so weird that this seems to slid under the radar. It's probably because it's been in that beta for so long. When the first one is such a good cult classic game for Steam, I think.
I put this on here because I have never played Darkest Dungeons 1. Jake had actually brought it up a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I should finally play that because I bought it, I think, on GOG or something. And I was like, oh, I should probably finally play that. And then I posted this in the Discord, and Zach's like, oh, I can't believe that game's finally coming out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And I didn't even know they were making a Darkest Dungeons 2. Oh, and so I looked it up, and it is everything you said. And I was like, oh, it's been out in like early access forever.
Yes, since
so that's
2020
that's
October,
wild.
I think. Yeah,
that it's been sitting for there.
It's so long. Yeah, but I mean, the first one, if you can get a hold of it on sale for cheap, and play it before the new one comes out and see if you would like. It's a little different. The second one, it plays more like you go into one instead of like having a town building stuff, which is why I think you guys might like it, because it has that kind of like, I build a base, I kind of have my guys go out on missions. You can name them after your own guys, send them out. Ian goes out, get the leprosy. Damn, Ian, what the fuck happened to you, man? I thought you were better than that. We gotta put him in the fucking church and have him whipped to see like he'll get out of that bad habit or something like that. This game has a lot of cool base stuff. The narration's great. It's a lot of cool like dungeon exploring. The second one's it plays like more like it plays like a Slay the Spire kind of. You have like one track you go down and you try to get as far as you can with the same crew. So it's fine, but I definitely sometimes I can appreciate the first one a little bit better. But if you can get it on sale, 100% would recommend. Great game.
Yeah, I gotta see what I own it on, because I feel like it would be good on the Steam Deck, and I might not own it on Steam. But I think you can install GOG games.
That is a game I could see Subpixel playing, because you guys can like again do your like naming conventions and stuff, build towns, and then like, hey, like, oh no, fucking Will and like Ian are bickering because they actually like argue with each other too. Like they'll like sometimes like if you get super stressed, you'll get like this thing called like you have like overstress, and like basically you'll be like in denial of like trust of your teammate. You're like, I'm not gonna let you heal me because I fucking think you're like a traitor. It's like it can get that brutal. And sometimes a guy like as a masochist is like one of the things you can get if you get super stressed, and they just start carving themselves open on the fucking thing during their turn. Instead of like letting you control them, they'll just start stabbing themselves. It's actually fucking hilarious. It's brutal.
Maybe I'll do that. I've always wanted to do an XCOM 2 run, but Ian famously hates XCOM, so
then do this. It's different.
Never been allowed to.
There you go.
That. I'll do that.
Yeah, well, you did the XCOM on our thing. You betrayed our entire team, so I can't blame Ian for that.
You know, you got to survive.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm alive. You're dead. Moving on here to the final section of the show, Wishlist Spotlight.
Who's the narrator?
You're dead. I just want to shout this game out. Wishlist Spotlight. Wishlisting on Steam helps these devs get noticed and all that sort of stuff. So Tiny Glade, it is a small, relaxing game about doodling castles, kind of like not Islanders, but that other Town Scraper game. You're building little castles in little meadows. I follow this person on Twitter. They posted a neat GIF of their mom playing the game, which was really nice. So it looks like a cute little fun game to play when you're bored. I don't know if there's going to be any sort of like goals in it once it's finally out, but I can see myself taking a lot of cute pictures of castles, or even using this to be like, hey, this is the town you come across in D&D, you know, like you just draw it out real quick, like, oh, the castle looks like this or something. Yeah, it's cute. Check it out. Link in the description or the podcast thing. Folks, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna play the outro music.
That's the outro music.
That's the outro music. Wait for Barkerville. 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 Folks, this has been Local Chat. We are here to say goodbye. Jason, thank you so much for being here.
No problemo, guys.
I like having you on here. I feel like I always feel like I rotate through my guests too quickly, and then I look at it and it's like, I haven't messaged Jason since October.
Yeah, it was a good. I was happy about that for a while.
Jeez.
I'm fucking with you. Come on, man.
Jeez, I know. Anyways, Ian was here as well. I was your host, Will Crosby. You can find me on Twitter at Hunt270. You can find Ian on Twitter at ThinkGibson. You can find Jason on Twitter at TheGreen8Ball. Subpixelfilms.com for the link tree, all of our stuff. We are back with Dwarf Boys and also Roblox this weekend. Take a look at our Discord, join our Discord, and we'll post stuff there. So we'll see y'all next week. Bye.